Welcome to Quick Bites. SimTheWorld here, making 5-star dishes in Cooking Simulator. Today, we're taking a look at Fusilli Aglio, Olio e Peperoncino. Well, that's how I think it's pronounced. We're going to start with a liter of water, and we're going to add 5 grams of salt to the pot, followed by 160 grams of noodles, which I conveniently forgot to bring out. That's alright. Just on the shelf. And be careful, it pours quick. As you can see, it said it poured 170. It actually poured 180 grams. And from here, I like to shake the pot a little bit, try to get as many of these noodles submerged. If they don't go under the pot, you can always grab them individually. It is important to make sure that they are submerged in the pot, otherwise they won't cook evenly. So that should... oh, looks like that guy's kind of weird, so there we go. And since we're going for 5 stars, perfection is key. Need to make sure we're doing this right. Alright, I'm going to also get a few other things ready before we start boiling. We will take the pan. We need to put 40 milliliters of oil in the pan, and we need to slice the garlic in half. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Now this pours quick too, so be very careful. As you can see, I over poured. A quick way to do this, if it's just a little bit, is to taste it. It takes 1 milliliter. Cutting garlic in half, you can do it with a knife. It does seem to want to... there's a certain way to cut garlic, and the garlic kind of freaks out if you don't do it right. This, by using the food processor, it actually puts them in 5-gram pieces every time. And we're going to put those in the pan. Now, just like the noodles, this is very important. You need to make sure the garlic is laid out carefully. If you're good with just taking the container and dumping it in the pan without throwing it all over the place, that's a good way to make sure it's spread out. Otherwise, you may need to come in here and space them like that. So now we're going to boil the noodles for 45 seconds and fry the garlic for 15. I'm going to do both at the same time. It is going to put the garlic at the halfway point, which is what we want. Followed by the noodles will be almost done. So there's the 15. I'm killing the heat. You can go just a little bit more. We want that halfway point. And now we just have to wait for the noodles. While we wait for the noodles, we can add the 5 grams of chili flakes to the pan. Just like so. We have another 10 seconds to go. And timing is very important. This dish is very finicky. You need to line up the garlic and the noodles together when you're cooking them. And if they don't finish completely, if they start to burn, you will lose points. So grab 50 milliliters of water with your ladle. The ladle is like the most important tool in the kitchen. You know you've done it right if this doesn't turn some weird color. Just one of those hints. I'm very happy to see that because I've been testing this so many different times. It is disheartening because it's very prone to going wrong. Just like we're doing now, we're laying out the noodles so that they're flat in the pan so everything finishes together. Yeah, this dish, I don't know if it's meant to be this way, like this finicky. But I've had so many issues getting 5 stars that unless you have some perks enabled, like if you're playing the campaign, I don't think it'll be as much of an issue. Alright, let's set this for 15 seconds. Now hopefully the goal is the garlic and the fusilli will finish together. The noodles look like they're about to burn slightly, so we will get dinged on that. So this won't be the perfect dish, But this is going to be as close to perfect as you're probably going to get without having those perks enabled that kind of pad the score. We need to dump everything into the casserole dish. Make sure to pour this slowly. It's prone to go all over the place. Try to get it in together. We spilled a little. I don't know what we spilled. There's only 90 milliliters in the pan to begin with. But we finish with 5 sprigs of parsley. And here we go. Let us see what our score will be. Alright, so, like I mentioned, we are... It's very disheartening, but I'm not going to be able to get the perfectly 5 stars on this. Because you need to... The timing on this is so impeccable that it... Even with a stopwatch, I haven't been able to get it in like 10 or 12 tries. It's been very frustrating. So... This is a dish that if you're playing through the campaign, it isn't hard to make. It only took like a couple minutes. But make sure you have perks enabled that will, you know, like it'll take longer to burn. Things like that. Things that in sandbox mode, we actually don't have the option to enable. You get your regular perks here, but you don't get your skill points or however they refer to it. So hopefully this helps you along with your campaign. Thanks for watching as I simulate my life one game at a time. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the future action. You can follow on Twitter for updates of future games being played, as well as follow on Twitch as I try to stream 3 days a week. Thanks, and I'll see you next time at SimTheWorld.